Voters in City of Charleston District 6 will head back to the polls on Tuesday to vote for Amy Brennan or William Dudley Gregorie as their new council member. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with Amy one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Amy!
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
You too.
So, it's one day before the runoff.
Yes, it is.
What is it like to be Amy Brennan, the candidate?
Very excited. Amazingly full of energy when I feel like I should be totally exhausted. But I think all the volunteers and all the people that I'm talking to fill me with energy. I mean, just on the way over here, I had several text messages from people just
cheering you on.
I'm thinking of you. And so just when you want to get tired, people just pick you up. So I think I'll be glad when Wednesday gets here. Sure. But it's all just been such a enlightening process and getting to meet so many people. So it's been fun.
You talk about that enlightening process. Everyone around here is talking about that one vote. How did that even happen?
Well, I worked very hard, and our whole team worked very hard to get out the vote. I knocked on, I keep saying, close to 1,000 doors. I don't know how many, but so I think we worked very, very hard. There was a huge increase in voter population for this election from the last non-mayoral election. So I think we worked very hard to get people out. So, there have been, there have been a lot of other elections that were decided by one vote. So I guess it's not that uncommon. But it's probably where the saying comes from: every vote matters.
Sure.
But it's very exciting that we had that example right here in our community.
Sure. For
everybody to see that every vote matters. So wherever I've gone, I've talked to people and they've all told me, it was my vote. It was my vote that did it. And I said, I know it was, because it was every single person's vote that made the difference.
And when you had to go in front of the election commission a couple of days ago, what was going to your mind?
Well, first I was honored to be the person who had one more vote. So that, that was a victory for me and for our team. But the election commission had to sort through state law and figure out the effect that the write-ins were going to have on the percentage of votes that we're going to count. So I appreciate the process that they took to do it. In the end, it still resulted in them declaring a runoff, which I kind of thought they were going to decide, but it was a long day, and in the end, we're going to just go back at it again tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be a much bigger margin, and we won't have to think about this anymore.
And 5 things people should know when it comes to you and your issues affecting District 6.
5 things. Well, what I keep hearing when I am talking to people that they appreciate is they want change. They want change because they like the level of communication and spirit that I have for positive feedback and being listened to. They feel like they haven't been listened to or haven't had good communication. So just being at their doorstep is something that they haven't had before. So they appreciate that. Then, just addressing the sort of 4 major things of infrastructure, flooding, overdevelopment, and traffic are common to every door that I knock on. It just is solved in different ways depending on the neighborhood that we're in. It's getting to know all of those different neighborhoods and the unique needs that everybody has, so that when I'm serving District 6 and all of the City of Charleston, that we can solve these problems in all the unique ways that we need to look at them.
I just interviewed your opponent yesterday, and he basically said you are anti-hotel, you are anti-526. When you hear that, what do you say?
Well, I have run a very positive campaign, so using the word auntie is very negative, and I'm just not going to go negative on anything, but I'm not anti any of that. My whole campaign is about pushing pause. We have had tremendous growth, so we've outpaced our infrastructure, we've outpaced everything. So I've been about pushing pause so that we can make a plan. Using a year 2000 master plan to solve problems in 2017 with our tremendous growth, with people not being able to afford housing in downtown Charleston or close by to their job centers, is irresponsible leadership. And that's why I support Mayor Tecklenburg's need to have a regional master plan. And being anti-hotel development downtown doesn't mean that I'm anti anything downtown. It means let's look at perhaps building affordable housing downtown so that people can get to jobs. We talk to all kinds of people in the restaurant industry, in the service worker industry, in small businesses who can't find people to employ because they can't make it to a job because they have to live so far out. So we have some real problems. If you're trying to look at job creation for the peninsula or James Island, let's find some housing close by so that we can get people here who can afford to live here.
We are, like I said, I've known you for 4 years now since my first interview with you for Quintin's Full Subs. But can you please describe Amy Brennan, the person?
Oh, well, when you do nonprofit work from as long as I have, for more than 20 years, you can't take that out of you, who you are. So when I look at my list of accomplishments, I can tangibly list my accomplishments. I have worked out solutions to help the homeless. I have worked out solutions to help teens make smart choices. I have worked out solutions to help women have better opportunities in our state. I've worked with local governments and key leaders in our communities to raise money and build facilities so that people get healthier. So everything that I have been in my adult life and my career has been to take action, to identify a problem and find a solution. And so I take those skills and that experience to my role on City Council to identify the really important issues that we have to solve for the City of Charleston, and perhaps bring a breath of fresh air, a new look at ways to solve problems, and new ideas so that we can solve those problems instead of just trying to, year after year after year, solve the problems in the same ways, and then every year we're just kind of at the same place and people are still struggling. And we're still being outpaced by the growth of all of the people coming to our great city. So I have great intuition about, I think, where we are and perhaps where we're going. I'm a good listener, so I've enjoyed so much being in the neighborhoods and meeting people and forming new relationships with folks and really understanding where they're coming from. And I think overwhelmingly we have sort of this convergence of people wanting to maintain the charm and the feel of Charleston, while we also want to understand that we have tourism and growth that's feeding our economy, and that we have other forces like flooding and sea level rise that we have to be concerned with. So we're going to need some help and some new ways of looking at these problems in order to solve them. And I think that change on council is good to help us look at those things differently. And I've been doing that kind of work my whole life.
Amy Brennan, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
Thanks, Quintin. I appreciate it too.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.